Are you thinking of ways to use films and TV series to make your lessons more engaging? Or are you trying to help your students increase the contact they have with English language outside the classroom? I'm Rubens Heredia, one of your Pavilion ELT vloggers, and in our series of videos in 2023, we are looking at different resources that we can use to make our lessons more engaging, effective, and fun. And in this video, I want to share with you 5 ways to use films and TV series to achieve just that. Do you want to know how? So come with me. I clearly remember the joy that I would feel on the rare occasions when the teacher would push a TV trolley into the classroom with a VHS tape on the hand and tell us that we were going to watch a scene from a film. Even if I had already seen the film, just knowing that we were going to use something that had been made for entertainment rather than study already made my day. Of course, we have come a long way since then, and students nowadays basically carry any film or TV series they want in their pockets. But I don't think this means that the magic is lost. All we need to do is to help students know how they can make the best use of their favorite authentic material. So let's cut to the chase. Tip number 1, promote extensive listening. The way you listen to a podcast while you're ironing your clothes is not exactly the same way that you listen to instructions on how to get your friend's birthday party, is it? The reason we have for listening, as well as the type of text we are listening to, such as a conversation or an announcement, affect the level of detail we need to pay attention to, the type of language we're exposed to, and our listening strategies. In our lessons, most of the listening activities students will engage with involve intensive listening, a type of listening that's really focusing on obtaining information in order to answer a listening task. We normally use shorter recordings or conversations, as maintaining focus for too long can be overwhelming to students. However, it is also important to encourage our students to do extensive listening. According to Charles Januzzi and Gabriele Giannini, extensive listening is really fluent listening. It takes place every day in our lives when we listen to a variety of content for meaning, information, communication, social participation, and even enjoyment. We do not do so in order to answer comprehension or recall questions, nor are we attending to language practice points. Encouraging students to create the habit of getting some exposure to English outside the classroom can really make a difference in their learning. Films and TV series can be a great source of material that is intrinsically motivating to your students. Tip number 2, foster learner autonomy. Encouraging students to have more contact with English outside the classroom is great, but if you can help them develop strategies to keep learning and take advantage of such moments more effectively, even without your direct instruction and support, you are really helping them multiply their learning opportunities. According to Sehun Ogut, research suggests that more autonomous learners are the most successful they can be in their language learning goals. Self-directed, out-of-class language learning activities are among the highly effective learning strategies which create learning autonomy. She goes on to explain the benefits she noticed when she saw her students keeping a log of the different activities they did in English outside the classroom, making notes on what they did, when and for how long, and added additional comments. Students can also keep record of new words and expressions they notice in the films and TV series they watch. And teachers can even encourage students to share them with their colleagues, incorporating what students learn more autonomously into the lessons. Tip number 3, use a systematic approach. Even though most students are generally interested in films or TV series, it is sometimes difficult to get them to actually watch the recommended films, just like it happens with graded readers, for example. Just giving students vague instructions and tasks, such as watching the film and writing a few paragraphs summarizing it, might not generate the motivation that the students need in order to properly engage with the material. In an article for the latest edition of Modern English Teacher, Mei Fenzhou describes how she uses the roles introduced by Mark Furr to organize literary circles, or LCs, and help her students deal more systematically with literary texts. Each student was assigned a different role: discussion leader, summarizer, connector, wordmaster, culture collector, or passage person. The idea is that by assigning different roles to different students, you are creating an information gap amongst them. Not only does it give them a stronger reason to participate in the discussion and listen to their classmates, but it also fosters a sense of accountability that can lead to more buy-in. According to her, different roles represent different tasks students would tackle with literary texts. Teachers could adopt and adapt the roles mentioned above and create their own role sheet for their LCs, personalizing their approach to teaching literature in their own EOT classrooms. Adapting literary or reading circles and using them with films and series is quite a straightforward process, and it is only the medium that changes. Rather than discussing a book, students discuss a film or the episode of a show. Tip number 4, encourage audiovisual comprehension. Although we normally talk about films as a tool to develop listening, the richness of audiovisual material goes beyond simple auditory comprehension. In a world where video and multimedia content are ever more present, it is important that we help students navigate such authentic materials more effectively, especially our teenage learners. According to Christian Roel, media literacy training activities include developing awareness of the techniques applied to persuade the viewers or manipulate their feeling. In other words, media users need audiovisual comprehension skills, which differ from pure listening comprehension because the message is based on a combination of visual elements and sound. Helping students not only remember and comprehend what's being said, but also analyze messages, stories, visual input, and the impact on the audiences is a great way to incorporate tasks that require higher-order thinking, such as synthesis and evaluation, into your lessons. More complex tasks are more likely to require more complex language and more complex interaction. This can be particularly helpful to our students who are in the intermediate plateau, helping them really move on to advanced levels. Tip number 5, develop cross-cultural awareness. Communicating more effectively in English goes beyond just understanding the language itself. It involves developing understanding of the different cultures that use English to communicate in different contexts, and cross-cultural awareness is a part of that. By developing cross-cultural awareness, our learners can become better at understanding nuances, building rapport with their interlocutor, adapting their communication style, and even avoiding stereotyping and bias. According to Paul Bress, it is clear that culture is not only about nations or countries, but about people as members of a particular group. Intercultural communication training is just as much about helping our learners cope with people from other companies, corporate culture, professions, or discourse communities as it is with people from other countries. It is about learning how to work with other people. Films and TV series expose learners to different cultures and cultural contexts, as well as different accents and communication styles. Not only can this help students improve their linguistic repertoire, but also their empathy, understanding of different perspectives, and awareness of global issues and themes relevant to different societies. Mind you, when we talk about different cultures and accents, we do not refer only to cultures and accents of people whose first language is English, but also the context in which English is used as a lingua franca. I hope these tips help you reflect and improve the way in which you use films and TV series, not only during your lessons to make them more engaging and fun, but also outside the classroom. Films and series were definitely an important part in my own personal learning journey. What about you? Do you use films and TV series in your lessons? Do you have fond memories of learning from films and TV series? Sound off in the comments below. And you can also contact me on all social media at whatisyot. Keep learning and keep teaching.